Hello.
Hello.
Hey, hey, hey. We have Mario here.
Yeah,
All
what's up?
right. Okay. All right. I know it's a short time, so I'm just gonna, Sean, I don't know if you know Mario. Mario is leading all the digital innovation at Zeek's Pizza. So
Sweet.
yeah, and
No.
you're all about digital hospitality. So I thought you guys should connect.
Well, it's great to meet you, Mario. I'm excited to learn about all the cool things you guys are. From what Moen's telling me, we should have been talking a long time ago, but I'm happy. There's no time like the present.
Let's do this. Here we
Let's do it.
are.
All right. Mario, give us the elevator pitch.
About what? About my personal life, about Zeke's, about
No, about the
delivery. Like,
about
what
the
do you?
business, about Zeke's, about the pizza. Give us the pizza origin story.
Oh man. Well, Zeke's Pizza, we make Pacific Northwest pizza. Our company was started 30 years ago by two dudes who got sick of working for the man and felt like there wasn't good enough pizza in a ski town. And they are Tom and Doug are lifelong powder skiers and windsurfers, and they wanted to spend more time doing what they love, which is skiing and surfing. And they backed into a job in pizza, and here we are 30 years later with 25 restaurants.
Wow.
And just we've evolved into more of a franchising model. We got 19 franchises, 6 corporate stores, and our big challenge right now is just like probably a lot of the pizza industries. We're just trying to still come out of COVID and get right with the new world where everybody delivers. Coming from a world where pizza delivery was the only food that the average consumer gets delivered. So I think that's what brings me here. That's why we were so excited to work with Moin and Ship Day, because we found that we had gone so deep into the weeds with our old POS provider, that with all of our delivery metrics, and then COVID just like forced us into the new world of technology. So we switched to Toast, and Toast is shitty at delivery metrics. And so now we're just picking and choosing all the shit that Toast is bad at
Yep.
and attaching it to Toast. So
Awesome.
that's where Ship Day comes in. That's where a lot of the stuff we do comes in.
How long have you guys been with Ship Day?
That's the pitch. Been with Ship Day, I think we're at a year and a half now.
Yeah, year and a half. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And all stores are using Ship Day, or did you start with one store? How did you guys roll it out? How did you roll out Ship Day?
All but 2 are on it now, and we're trying to get those 2 on it, but they're resisting. Yeah, it really just started with one. I mean, all of our standard rollout of how we roll out anything is we pilot at one store, see if it works for the operator, see if we can get the operator stoked about it, and then we end up letting the operator evangelize for us, because ultimately, like, that's the only way. It sucks. All the franchisees aren't bought into Corp telling them what to do. But when another store says that something is working and it's making their operation better and they're happy and they're making more money, that's the way it catches fire. So that's what happened here too.
Do you remember which store was the first?
I think our
Jarvis was the first one.
Dravis.
Yeah,
Dravis was our first location.
That's our first location. Yeah.
Yeah.
What happened at the Dravis store? Do you remember, Moen, or
No, I think that was the Zeek's first store too. I mean, I don't think that the store may be closing now where it has recently, but that was their first location. I think that was the pilot location for everything, I guess.
I can tell you that was what got us in the door with Ship Day. But I'll tell you that the things have taken off with our Capitol Hill location.
Okay. What's going on there?
That operator just really has a nose for good customer experience, and was really tuned in with the big shift away from in-house delivery towards third party. And all we had about metrics of how it was going was the number of customer complaints that we got when we were sending out a pizza with someone that wasn't our own drivers. And all the franchisees at that time, and everyone was saying, oh, the cost of our in-house delivery is too high. It's so cool. You can just like outsource it to third party. I don't have to manage my driver fleet. And, you know, this specific operator was he just knew that ultimately was not the long-term play, and that ultimately it was going to piss customers off. And sure enough, you know, a year into going mostly third party, he saw his, you know, delivery transactions just go down, you know, like year over year. And it was bad enough that he just took the plunge, and he was like, you know what, the only way I can build this delivery business back is if I get in-house delivery back. And the reason that Ship Day changed the game was because they allow for a hybrid delivery model. So, you know, what we refer to as hybrid is, you know, you want to do third party for this shift? Great. You got a big catering order that you don't want to mess up and you want your person to hand it off? Great. In-house. You got a big heavy shift on a Friday night when you know most of your loyal customers are going to order? Great. Let's do that one with in-house. Don't have enough drivers on this shift? Oh, just need this one to go off to third party? Great. Ship Day can do that. So the key was that, you know, this franchisee and all franchisees had already moved away from in-house delivery, and now we're living the life of luxury of not having to hire drivers, not having to manage a driver staff. They'd cut their insurance, and they were like, how can I go from zero back to a full driver staff?
Yeah.
And with Ship Day, it allowed us to say, you don't have to build back a whole driver staff. Just get one driver. Just get one driver for your busy shifts and deliver as many in-house as you can on that shift. Then once you got one driver, hire another driver and gradually start scaling your way towards, you know, increasing the percentage that you're taking in-house. And sure enough, the delivery transactions just went up over time. The customer experience got better.
That's amazing.
That's what really moved the needle at Cap Hill, which has now been you know, that's the success story that we're telling people about. And
how do you guys roll out success stories as an organization?
I mean, we have, I'd say the main, we have a very strong tribal get beers culture.
It obviously works.
It really is. So like, you know, the most quote unquote formal way is, you know, when we host our franchise meetings, you know, we do them every 6 months, I think at this point, sometimes more often.
Yeah.
And we just give them the mic and say, hey, tell us about your experience with Ship Day. And then they talk about it. And, you know, like that's what sells people. And then a week later, everyone's following up with us after the meeting saying, hey, how do I get on Ship Day?
Yep.
Yeah. How about y'all? Are y'all using it, or what's your story?
So we have barbecue restaurants in San Diego. Yep. We're not currently using Ship Day because my stack, like I spend a majority of my time doing media content.
Yeah.
my team is at their, we're at full throttle. We just opened up a Navy location, so there isn't delivery. Actually, Ship Day is probably something that might work on the Navy location, since we can't use DoorDash or Uber Eats at that location. But we literally, today's day 23. So we soft opened on the 1st, grand opening on the 16th. So we are working our way through it's a QSR model for us. So that's what we're rolling out.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Sounds like a challenge.
Everything's a challenge. That's why we do media.
Yeah. Yeah.
Restaurant business is a hard business. 16 years we've been doing it. You guys have been doing it much longer than us, but you've obviously figured out something if you've gotten to that scale.
We're getting there. How many units do y'all have?
Technically 2, but we have 2 stadium locations too. So we have our main commissary, brick and mortar, 5,700 square feet, full bar. Like that's where we built the business, but then we added smokers so that we could do, what we call slow food fast. Try to get more barbecue to more people throughout San Diego.
Sweet.
Mario and Sean, you guys need to visit each other. SoCal, you go up.
We talk about having a Zeeks in San Diego. We talk about Zeeks in San Diego all the time.
That would be awesome. Where are you guys? Where are you located?
I live in Seattle.
Okay, are
And
are all 25 stores in Washington, or?
they're all, I mean, we got one in Boise. We got one in Boise and one in Spokane, but the rest of the 23 are like within 50 to 80 miles of each other. Yeah,
Amazing.
all the greater Seattle area, basically.
How big is the footprint? How big is the Zeeks? Like typically store or the ranges?
And I don't even know. I couldn't even tell you.
Pretty big.
How many seats? How many seats?
Yeah.
You guys,
Our biggest,
you order at
so
a counter,
biggest-
you got like,
our
are
biggest
they-
one seats like 100,
Okay.
and but they scale all the way down to like just takeout counters and people that don't call it like a delivery shack where there's no dine-in.
Okay.
So, but the
Once
ones,
they have 100, do they have like a beer and wine also?
yeah,
Or
yeah. So we do. We are trying to be. We feel like we are analogs of like the craft beer industry. So, we feel like the same people that love to go to breweries are the same people that love to eat Zeeks.
Yeah.
So that's our scene. We have Zeek's exclusive partnerships with breweries, and we have local breweries that make Zeek's exclusive beer.
Sweet. And then the Zeke's breweries, are those pop-up locations or delivery like, how do you guys do that?
Sorry, like, okay, so we
So like when you
have
partner
Zeek's
with a brewery,
breweries. We have Zeek's restaurants, some of which have a full bar,
got it.
some don't.
Got it.
And then the breweries are just partnerships to make and brew beer together, and then we sell
Sweet.
it.
Okay, cool. I like that.
Yeah.
It's a huge selection. I've been to a few stores, and Mario, you guys do a great job in the selection process. It's awesome. Stores location I've been to. I think I've been to Capitol Hill. I have been to the downtown location. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. It's wonderful. Like really, what Mario was saying is a great place to gather with friends. It's awesome. We love it. And then Mario, one of the things that we're working with Mario is like, we learn a lot, to be honest, on tests, like what operators like, more sophisticated operators care about delivery. And we have worked together on a lot of things and reports and things like that. Mario could talk about, but at the end of the day, it's really kind of our goal is to how do you give this insights back to the merchants and the operators so that they can make the right decision. So to your point, like you don't need, like, do you have a driver? Should you have a driver? Should you have two drivers or not? Should you have all third party? A goal is to really bring all the options on the fulfillment side so that you can choose. And again, the answer is going to be different for different locations based on where they are, what the third party drivers they get access to, how far the customer base is, order volume. So that's, I think that's really, to me, that's more empowering, that once you have an option, there's no because oftentimes it's kind of scary to think about, I have no drivers, all using third party, and I have to now do the whole thing now, like hire 5 drivers. I don't know even it's 5 or 3, get the insurance back, it just sounds so big of a leap, essentially, right? So the question is like, what if you don't have to make a leap? What if it's like, even you hire a driver and then say, oh, it's not good, I'll go all third party. Okay, fine, we go back to all third parties, right? There's no either or choice. It's really a seamless continuum. You can be at anywhere. And I think that's really I feel like that's really playing well in the pizza industry because, everybody went to third party. Now everybody's kind of realize, oh, how do we have the best customer experience? I want to have some control back. And somewhere in the middle is the right position for everybody's, but it just like is different for everybody. So I think it's great, and Mario has a lot of insights about this evolution that has seen it all like third party to like first party to the third party, and then kind of backtrack a bit. Yeah.
Mario, what's your title at Zeke's?
I'm the director of
everything.
technology.
You're the what?
Director of technology.
Director of technology. When did you become director of technology?
2.5 years ago.
What were you before you were director of technology?
I was like, I don't know. So like my evolution is like, I was hired as the job I applied to was called instructional designer because I got a background in teaching and video production and content creation.
Sweet.
And they said, hey, come in and make us videos on how to teach our people to make pizza. And I got in there, and 5 months after that, I was like, you guys need way different stuff than these videos. Like, you need this other stuff. So I did that for a year and a half. Then COVID hit, and we all got in a room and we're like, holy shit, how are we going to make this happen? And so, we all kind of just like roles started to overlap a bunch. And what we ended up doing a big restructure, pulled out the technology as a business unit from the rest of the franchising company, the corporate stores, the operations of the stores, commissary. So I got put in charge of the tech stuff, and I also have a big role in so the training stuff. I don't do in-person training. I still have a big role in our like documentation processing and
Yep.
curriculum instruction. I manage our knowledge base, but yeah, primarily I manage our tech stuff.
What do you look for in a technology partner?
The
Pretend like
ability
Owen's not
to-
here.
the ability to like be
Give him the hard
nimble
truth.
and the ability to be nimble and like work with us. Like, we've learned that like we're unicorns. We ask for weird shit that isn't available out of the box. And so like the big thing we look for is, I mean, honestly, Ship Day is a great example of someone who actually has evolved their business and what they do and the services they provide, the reports they create, based on what we ask for, which is like really important and possible with a company that's honestly as small as Ship Day. Like, we're not moving the needle with toast. Like, we're just not,
Yeah.
So that's why Ship Day specifically has been really, really important to us. So the customers, I mean, the customer experience is like obviously number one, but then you very quickly get to like, how can you evolve to what we need? Because we know you're not going to offer everything that we want out of the box.
Moen mentioned some reports specifically that you guys asked for. Do you remember what those reports were and why were they important?
Yeah, can I show you?
Absolutely, even better.
Sweet. Okay. Here we go. Okay, so what you're looking at is what Ship Day refers to as a performance report.
Yeah.
And so you're looking at last week, the performance of the deliveries that took place that were what we call ASAP deliveries. So they were not timed orders. It was like someone going onto their phone, like, I want a pizza now, order it, like those ones. We pull out the timed orders because because it makes sense. So none of this reporting really existed for us. So, but in here, baked into just this one report, has so many of the key operational insights that are important to us, that we know are important to our customers, that we can take action on and have meaningful conversations with our crew about. So a good example of something that's customer facing is this one called promise time. So promise time is, we refer to it as quote times, but we've been in the industry long enough that we know if we are keeping our quote times below 40 minutes, we are getting all the business we can handle. And as soon as our quote times go above 40, we're throttling our own business. So without this, we can't even tell how we're doing. So this allows us to go have a conversation about Tuesday with whoever was running the kitchen and run the staff and say, hey, on Tuesday, we were above 40. Like, what was going on that Tuesday? Like, why, what was going on in store? Were we short drivers? Was it a staffing thing? So that's a meaningful, actionable conversation you can have with staff. So that's one example. Also, I mean, it's an example of how the operations meets the customer, so that's that one. This one right here, this average placement time to pickup time. So that's the time from when the order was placed to when the driver walked out the door with the pizza. So in other words, that's a proxy for how fast our kitchens are. So we know that a fast Zeek's kitchen can get pizzas out the door in 20 minutes or less. That's like our standard. And
Okay.
so this is now a good way to start a conversation about like, hey, how can we get it below 20?
Yep.
Why were we at 22 on Saturday and 32 on Sunday? You know, like, so that's an example of, you know, these are all natural metrics that get created within Ship Day because it's all, you know, it's metrics created by the driver touching something. So the order first gets triggered when it's placed. Then when the driver taps a button on their driver app that they're accepting the order, that's one thing. And then when the driver leaves the store, that's another thing. And then when the driver drops it off, all those translate to creating these metrics. So
we were still working on a few things here. Like, you know, Maria and I talked last week that, you know, we're probably like percentage in-house. You also know, hey, how are you doing compared to in-house and third party? So, and also there's a few things that, you know, that graphs, Mario has a good suggestion for it, just to see, you know, how many deliveries were like 5 minutes early or 5 minutes late. What does that looks like? Like, is it, because normally we do like on demand, like on time. So on time is a very cracked threshold. Like the promise was 30, you were 31, you were late, right? You're not on time. But, you know, 31 is probably on time. So we can also understand, okay, well, if you're not on time, what's the distribution look like for us? So we can also do those things. So that gives a pretty good insight about how things are run.
Yeah. 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 And the other thing that Moin just spun up for us recently was this driver report. And so, you know, this takes specifically, if you look at this one line about Uber, so all of these other drivers, except for the one that says Uber, are real human beings.
Yep.
And
there's a pool of human beings there.
Yeah. So a couple things that stick out to me about this. The first is that the percentage of excuse me, percentage of on time.
Wow. 43%.
43, and you just look at the majority of the rest of them.
Yeah.
Much higher.
Everything's above
And
Uber.
then you look at the ratings as well. So the ratings are
Wow.
a ship day function as well. So it's, you know, you get a little thing 30 minutes after your text that says, how was your experience? And, you know, it's 5 stars. And you can see that, you know, by far the lowest average is the ones that are delivered by Uber. So
That tells you everything you need to know.
This is sort of like,
Yep.
do you want to fucking know that third party is worse than in-house? Yep. Here's a report. It's not just me telling you that a customer complained. It's like, here it is.
Here it is. 4.14 is the average Uber order for 60 completed deliveries. Yet Hayden, who's a driver, at 175. So Hayden is a beast.
Yep.
Oh yeah, Hayden's
amazing.
Yep.
Look at those stats.
Yeah.
Hall of Fame stats.
Yep. He's crushing.
Again, right? Part of this is also to, I think Mario was talking about, like, you know, you want to manage it, like, oftentimes, and I learned this, and when you talk, that managing delivery comes down to managing people in many ways. And, you know, if they're not kind of managed through any kind of metrics, it's hard to kind of, you know, I think you're doing a good job, you know, versus, no, you are actually doing a great job. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So these insights, Sean, is I think where, you know, just to talk to you about the toast. And actually I was listening to an interview and another podcast that, you know, they also realize that, you know, for certain segments, these are very important. If you're a pizza delivery business, you kind of need this.
Yeah.
But that's not for everybody. Like for you, maybe, I don't know, this is not that delivery heavy business, or you're not doing through the first party yet. But if somebody's trying to do first party, they kind of need to know these things in order for them to be able to do a good job at it. And that's what we kind of plug in terms of our capability with partners like Toast or somebody else.
That's a great report. Thank you for sharing that, or both of them, Mario.
Sure. Yeah, thank you, Moin, for working with us. I mean, if you look, like the report literally did not exist a year ago. You know, it was like, hey, first thing we just need to see this stuff, on time percentage, days of the week, split it up. Okay, great. Okay, now we want percentage on time. We want out the door time compared to total delivery time. We want to see promise time. So it's like step by step, you know, this thing. And just last week, I mean, in our recent meeting, am I at the point like, okay, how can I get this automatically just sent to my inbox every Monday?
Yep.
You know, it just wasn't ready yet. You know, it just wasn't.
When you build a report that's that powerful, that's exactly what you want. Where it's like, I want less reports, but I want impactful reports that I can actually do something with on a week-over-week basis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's really kind of honestly, you know, we work with a lot of operators, and Mario, you showed that driver performance report is one of the other brands we started working in. So I think really you know, one is obviously just the coordination of this dispatch, live tracking, but at the same time, we're gathering all the data that is really, really powerful in terms of giving you the operational insights of what is working in my business, what's not, who's working out or who's not working out in terms of managing people on the driver's side. Because oftentimes you talk to anybody who manages in-house drivers and they're like, I don't know how effective they are. If they're like, you have a sense that seems to be doing a good job once they're in the store, but when they're going outside the store, they're doing a good job at the customer location, things like that. You don't know really. So we try to gather this data in a comprehensive way so that you have a pretty good idea of how things are running. And obviously, running is the first priority, dispatch, tracking, all kind of thing. But I think the reports, as things go, because those become very table stake, but really the reports are the ones that helps from the business standpoint.
How are the multi-store functionality for looking store over store?
So we have like enterprise report now that Mario have access to, and we're kind of building on that. So you can also compare how things are running on a very high level. You don't go a very deep level, you just look at the high level statistics, but within that, you can kind of drill into any particular store that you want to get into that, hey, something doesn't look right here. So, but that's something evolving for us too, the enterprise dashboard that for multi-locations, you want to make sure that someone has a bigger insight and you can have options to drill down as deep you want to go.
Mario, what advice would you have for any pizza operator that's looking for a solution for building back their first-party delivery?
Yeah, if you want to build back your first-party delivery, you got to give every customer a good experience. You got to have your own driver showing up, building that relationship. You got to control every ounce of your experience that you can, from food quality to the person that they're interacting with. And so start by bringing your own drivers back. You can't build a successful delivery business without it.
Great.
No.
Anything else you want to make sure we cover, Moen?
No, this is great. I was going to ask that question about the insight that Mario had, that because when you look at the dollar, that it makes sense, but the long-term impact on customer happiness and thereby the business, right? It is something you don't see immediately. You just see the cost saving immediately, but once you start looking at the trend, it's like, well, there's something wrong here. It's supposed to go up, it's not, and the customer's not very happy. And then that control part is very important. Like if you cannot control that experience with, at least no control, to us, like I always think that in-house and third party is a good to have the hybrid options, because there's a peaks and like a drip in the timing of the demand surge. So you might want to cover the base capacity with your in-house, and peaks you can always do third party. And if you look at I come from a logistics standpoint, and that's kind of my background. Like any logistics system has their captive capacity, what they call that they cover, and any peaks they go to the spot market to hire a truck to do something, right? You know, Walmart would have their fleet, but they also hire other people's trucks because they would not maintain a fleet that has like a peak capacity. They would do 70% or 60% in-house capacity that's always high utilized. And then the peaks that they're gonna always gonna go to the spot market to get a capacity. But they know that if they had zero base capacity, it's very hard to do a good job in the whole logistics. That's really what I think translates here too.
Sean, one thing I forgot to mention actually that was like a big differentiator with Ship Day was, I mean, we also just look at, when we're looking at tech stuff, we have our North Stars with other people and restaurants and organizations that are doing it, and we just look to them. So like when it comes to delivery, we look at DoorDash and Uber. We're like, what tech do they have? What is the customer experience that they're having? Well, what DoorDash and Uber have is when you order, you watch the pizza come to your house. You watch it come to your house. So that was the first thing we looked for. We didn't know that we suspected it would come with all the delivery operations and metrics.
Sure.
And it made sense to us that it ended up being the same thing. But it really all started, with our techs, with all of our tech decisions, it's all just started with what's the state of the art customer experience. And we just need to match that. So when it comes to delivery stuff, I'm looking at DoorDash. When it comes to designing our app, I'm looking at like, okay, what is Starbucks doing? What is Jimmy John's doing? What is Domino's doing? And like, we just steal shit. You know what I mean? Like, we don't have the money that those guys have. So let's just take their ideas and at minimum, start doing what they're doing, copy it, put the Zeek spin on it. And the Zeek spin on it is the interaction with Zeek's employees and Zeek's product. But the tech is all the same. The tech is becoming the same at all restaurants. So you might as well just copy and then differentiate with your product and your employees.
I mean, I think the part of this is happening is, you forget that how, like, with Uber and obviously DoorDash right now, the ride-hailing service and everything else, like it has become a customer expectation that is like, it's not like, oh, I have a delivery, where is the driver? Like you just don't even think that is an add-on feature. It's just like, you just expect that thing to be there right now, right? And I think with all Uber, we got all trained. Uber is in 80 countries now. By the way, we work with a lot of countries in different places. Same expectations, right? I mean, KFC guys in Latin America we're working with, they just also want the same thing because guess what? Like everybody's used to that. I mean, everybody uses Google Maps to go from A to B. And so these are becoming like a global tech standard, essentially. That is not even in a country basis. So everybody wants that. So when you look at the customer standpoint, what Mario is saying is getting everything standardized. Everybody knows what they're supposed to get in a way.
The reason why our show is called Digital Hospitality is Mario, you said it exactly. That's the world we live in. We have expectations, and the best part is that we don't have to pay for it. We can find amazing tech partners like you that have humans that will listen to operators and say, we need help, build what we need so that we can run a better business, so we can grow our business and you can grow yours. I mean, that's the world we live in. And if you can't communicate, when did you order the pizza? When is the pizza coming? Is it hot? Is it late? Did you enjoy it? Like, these are just digital touch points of what we call hospitality. In real life, if someone comes to Zeek's, I guarantee you that they didn't build that business by ignoring people, by not smiling when you come to order a pizza, by not saying thank you. Like that's a place that you want to go in, and you learn who's there. They learn who you are, and it's the same thing when you bring something to someone's house. For sure.
Consumer expectations, for sure.
This is awesome. No, I appreciate you going into that depth and that analysis. It's extremely helpful for, obviously for Ship Day, but for us too, because we interact with so many people that are trying to do delivery. They know they need to do it, but they need to do it their own way, right? Just because it's outside of the four walls, we can't just give up the keys to the kingdom and say, go ahead, Uber and DoorDash and Amazon and whoever, go ahead and deliver our product, and let's hope and pray that they're going to bring a great pizza or a great barbecue. You can't hope and pray.
They're gangsters. They're trying to take over the world. They're pushing everyone around, and people are going out of business. you know, they're doing well, but in the end, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not gonna be a little guy. Yeah, for sure.
Sweet.
Sean, what is your, okay, so you're in the restaurant industry, but you run this show. Like, who are you and what do you do? Back up a little bit. No?
I own Cali Barbecue in San Diego. We just opened that, it's the 16 years we've been doing that, just opened up our technically third location, but I also own Cali Barbecue Media. So I built a media company on top of our restaurants because no one was coming to tell our story.
Yep.
I realized that I thought if we made great barbecue in a shitty location in San Diego, that everyone from the news to the radio to the magazines to the newspaper, this was, back in the day, 2008, 2009, no one cares.
I'm the shit. Why don't you care?
No one cares.
Yep. Yep.
But once we started making good barbecue, taking care of our community, but then telling our own story, using all of the tools on the internet, first was Facebook and then it was Instagram and Google and caring about Yelp, like all the things that, it took to the pandemic for most restaurateurs to go, oh, the internet matters. I mean, we still live in a world where Fortune 500 companies don't think that they need to be on YouTube. They don't think that they need to have engaging content on LinkedIn. Don't think that Instagram matters. And you're like, I don't know what to tell you, but these apps, everyone's attention's on the app. And I don't care if you're B2C or B2B, like if you tell a good story, back to the point of no one wants to watch a commercial about a business, but I'll listen to a good story.
Yeah.
What did you call it? You said beers, the tribal beers that you guys have?
Yeah, we get beers. And
Yeah, but you get beers and you tell stories, you tell war stories.
Exactly.
And from those stories you learn, and someone's like, I want to be more profitable. How are you more profitable? I want to do that. I don't want to lose money. Like, wait, what did you do? So if we share those stories, then, all of a sudden people can learn and other people can grow. And, this business is way too hard. It's way too hard. We need to make it a little bit easier and share some of the secrets and have a little fun along the way.
For sure.
Yeah.
So you've got this media. So you have two companies. You have the restaurant and then you have the media company, both of which are now ventures of yours.
Yep. Yep. So we do the media. We have Digital Hospitality is the main show that we've been doing since 2017. Restaurant Influencers is a show we do on Entrepreneur. We produce shows for tech companies now. Produce shows for restaurant groups. We do event coverage. So like I was just at the Big Chicken, Shaquille O'Neal's Big Chicken event in Las Vegas, covering, keynotes. I had a conversation with Shaq himself, which was like unbelievable. Just like
that was awesome. No, I just saw it
yourself that happens. Yeah.
Fun.
Just fun stuff.
Congrats, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it. If you ever make it to San Diego, come get some barbecue.
Let's go. I'll be there in October.
Really?
Yep.
What are you doing down here? Looking at a store?
So in my other life, in my non-Zeek's life, I play Elite Ultimate Frisbee. So national championships are in San Diego every year. So
amazing. How long are you down here for?
It'll be a long weekend. It'll be like a Thursday to a Monday. The weekend of the weekend before Halloween.
Write down my cell and just if you can make it, it's proud. I'm guessing you're playing what, Morley Field? Is that where they do it?
We do it at this big soccer complex. I forget. It's Surf Cup or Surf.
Oh, Surf Cup. That's in Del Mar, so that's kind of far.
That's it.
Yeah, it's kind of far from our restaurant.
Yeah, it's not close to San Diego.
No. Yeah, you're north.
You're flying to San Diego, but that's it.
Yeah. Right on. If whatever, you never know.
Yeah, we'll look you up.
Look me up. Let me know. You can write down my cell. Give me a call, text 619.
Yep, 619
993
619 993
0230.
0230. Cool. Thanks, Sean.
You got it, man. It's great to meet you.
Yeah, you too.
When I come to the Northeast, I'm coming for sure.
Oh yeah, you gotta
100%.
Come look us up. Come in the summer. Come in the summer. It's nice up here.
Okay.
Come in the winter. It's hella rain and gray. Gray. You don't want that. That's when we come to you.
Okay, fair. We got the dates all figured out now. Sweet.
Yeah.
Put on.
Cool.
All right. It was great to meet you.
All right.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, you got it. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Tom.
Bye.
Thanks, man.